All right, I want to pull up these tweets from Bill Malugin of Fox News, who said Border Patrol arrests of suspects on the FBI's terror watch list at the southern border. So these are arrests. He lists, of course, from 2017 through 2023, and they get higher and higher and higher and higher until you get to fiscal year 2022 was 98, fiscal year 2023, 151 so far. He says there have also been over 1.5 million known gotaways since the start of 2021. He adds enough to fill 16 Rose Bowls. And then he also tweeted new internal CBP Customs and Border Protection data provided and confirmed by CBP sources reveals thousands of, quote, special interest aliens from mostly Middle Eastern countries have been apprehended by Border Patrol while crossing into the United States illegally over the last 2 years. And then he just lists out all of these. I mean, Syria, 538, Yemen, 139, Iran, 659, Iraq, 123, Afghanistan, 6,386, Uzbekistan, you got 13-something thousand, Turkey, 30,000. I mean, these are not small numbers. And so you have to imagine, I mean, I said this yesterday on the show when we're talking about protecting our border and just how many terrorists have already crossed through. You would have to imagine if you're Hamas or Hezbollah or any of these many terrorist organizations that they want to wipe us off the face of the planet. Let's be frank here. And you're going to go through the trouble of coordinating this attack on Israel with the paragliders and the bombs and the, pushing explosives on the border wall and all of these things. You don't think that they're going to buy a plane ticket into Mexico and walk right across the damn border where it's just open? I mean, you've got to be out of your mind if you don't think that that has already happened. Of course, Border Patrol can give us numbers of the people who they've caught. They can't tell us how many terrorists they haven't caught and have just allowed into the interior of the country. We're not going to find that out until we see all of the aftermath of that, I hate to say.
Yeah, I mean, what's the total we're at with the Biden administration? Is it 10 million?
It's nobody knows.
Yeah, they won't tell. I mean, they'll never tell you.
I lost track at some point. I mean, what I think is astounding is the general malaise and lack of debate or talk about this. And I just keep thinking, there's 200 some countries in the world, and the only border that I see people unwilling on the right and left to send the United States military to is our own. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, something is happening to us that has happened to many great nations in the past over and over again. And that is that we're just being invaded by just letting millions of people in. Of course, many of them are dangerous. All that has to change is what you see now. I mean, something in the Middle East like this. The thing is, you can't predict when that's going to happen, right. But if you invite millions of people unvetted to come into your nation, you will destroy your country. Mm-hmm. And so all these people right now who, I don't know. Maybe you're actually kind of right. I'm getting a little worried. I'm getting a little more worried. They're not going to act until it's too late. And when whatever the trigger is, you're going to see increasing violence in America because you have invited the world, and the world is here. And we are now trying to be an empire in some way, and we're on shaky ground. The legs are spindly. It's not a good scene. Yeah. And so all this talk, the problem is all we do is the border's a sieve. This is a real problem, and nothing's ever done. And now we're going to have to pay the fiddler. There is no way you solve this problem with any quick fix. You have 10 million plus people, at minimum. Who are just milling about, and it's only going to get worse. So, yeah, we're in for it. We're in for a lot more hard times than we can even possibly imagine right now.
Yeah. I mean, Americans were propagandized for about 50 years, being told that diversity was our greatest strength and our melting pot was what made us beautiful. No. What happened was they got fed all of these lies, and now you look present day. You have Hamas rallies occurring in almost every major American city when this conflict broke out. Mm-hmm. So diversity is not our strength. Americanism is, but we're at the point where we now have 30, 40 illegal immigrants in America. It's basically just an economic zone at this point. It's not really a nation until they are gone. But this is sort of like, yeah, how many terrorists have gotten in? We have no idea. Our leaders don't even care. How many of them are voting? Nobody knows. We have no idea. So this is the issue. It goes back to, what is a country? It is a people. It is a culture. It's not like this giant melting pot where we have to say, okay, we're going to let everyone from everywhere come in and take advantage of us. You import the third world, and pretty soon you are going to become the third world.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to add into this as well. Apparently, pull that headline back up. Yeah. Daily Mail, exclusive. Republicans blast DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas in new report criticizing coldly calculated border policies as they eye potential impeachment. How much longer am I going to hear about them eyeing potential impeachment? I'm like, this has been their policy for the last 2.5 years, and y'all are still talking about eyeing impeachment. Oh, no. Are you going to send a letter to the manager? Is it going to be strongly worded? Like, I'm so sick of hearing these weaklings just like, oh, well, we're looking at it. Okay. Has what he's done, Matt, you mentioned what, 10 million? Has what he's already done not been enough?
Yeah, it's a scandal.
So weak.
It's a scandal. And the Republican Party, has messed around, and we're going to see if they find out in 2024, because I think for a variety of factors, the Republican Party is not standing on solid ground. Mm-hmm. Now, the good news is that you can change out leadership much faster than people imagine in Washington, D.C., because there is no popular support for the kind of leadership that we've had. So no one's crying right now, in rooms across America for the fate of Kevin McCarthy. No one cares. So
Kevin who?
So it's not as if people know and they just want to see it burn down because of that. So there is an opportunity for fast growth in the leadership class of the Republican Party, I do believe, because it's so bad. But what you're watching in real time is the destruction of a country. Mm-hmm. And you can yell in Congress, but the real power is with the administrative state, and they seem to control the presidency, and they seem to control Congress. Congress is their creature.
Yeah,
it's been this way for a long time. It's just they're much worse with their policies now. So I don't know what it will take, but I do think that I do have some confidence that the American people is not happy about it, and that sometimes they're sudden, they're slow, and then it suddenly starts to change. And I can see the potential for that, because if it doesn't happen, I've said this before and I'll say it again, the Republican Party will die.
Yeah, I totally agree. Last word.
Yeah, nobody supports this, right? I mean, our leaders have stopped making the case that this will improve our lives altogether. They've just settled on, we are going to let all of these people in no matter what. So this is the ultimate betrayal of the American people. It's tangible. I remember I was down at the border a few months ago in El Paso. I was talking to one of the sheriffs. The community is of just a few thousand people is just completely overwhelmed.
Yes.
They have people coming through their backyards every day. So number one, corporations, like there's no investment there, because they know it's just completely overrun and they're going to be taken advantage of, and that they can't keep anybody safe. And number two is he made a really interesting point to me. He said, we actually never abolished slavery. We just chose to import a new slave class. And the more I see of this, I kind of tend to agree with him. I tend to agree with him, because this is like, what else is this for? I don't get it. But it's a sad time, and you really need, last thing I'll say, I saw Texas, they're working on a law, I think it's going through the Senate right now, to make it a state crime to cross into the border illegally from a foreign nation. So hopefully, I know some people are upset with what Texas, their shortcomings on handling this crisis has been so far, but hopefully they're starting to wake up to the reality that either you push back on this and stop this, or you are going to soon become controlled by all the cartels.
Yeah, amen.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.